The Thailand Pass is now in force if you want to come back to Thailand. There are three main options, which include vaccinated and unvaccinated travellers. Even for fully vaccinated travellers, it's not quite quarantine-free. You'll be required to stay at an approved SHA Plus hotel for one night as they wait for your test result to come back. Let's hope it's negative. Whilst there's still some paperwork involved, the new Thailand Pass is a quick and easy way to upload your documents and get approval from the government. We understand there's been plenty of problems for some people to apply online for the Thailand Pass, but many others are not having problems and getting approval within a few days. Hopefully the early gremlins will be ironed out quickly. For the tourists that just want to arrive at the airport, get a stamp in their passport and head to the nearest beach or bar, that situation is not available at the moment. That situation isn't really available anywhere in the world right now. For Thailand, the country has never looked better, and Thai people and the rest of us are keen for you to come back and enjoy the many delights and sights waiting for you. Yes, there are still a number of restrictions in different parts of the country, but they're being lifted on a weekly basis. And Thailand, you can be sure, is opening up again for tourists, travellers and locals. Well, just before we go through the three ways to re-enter Thailand at this stage, here are a few of the details. All international travellers now have to apply for a Thailand Pass, which was launched on November the 1st. Now, this replaces the Certificate of Entry. Here's the website for the Thailand Pass. Here you can upload required documents including your vaccination certificate and medical insurance with minimum coverage of US $50,000. You can get this insurance from a range of insurers at thetiger.com. Here's the link for your options. It will take 1 to 7 days for approval of your Thailand Pass. Once approved, a QR code is generated, which the traveller can then use as they enter Thailand. International travellers can enter Thailand through one of 6 international airports: Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Samui and Utapao Airport in Rayong. Buriram Airport is also an option, but only for charter flights. You'll need to present a negative RT-PCR test result issued within 72 hours before travelling and your Thailand Pass QR code as you pass through health screening and immigration. You'll have to download the More Chana app on your phones. The app automatically evaluates your risk daily whilst you're in Thailand. You'll need to have the app data set to on. From the airport to your approved AQ or SHA Plus hotel, you'll be picked up by the hotel. You can't jump into a normal taxi. They'll be waiting for you at the airport. The approved hotel will provide the RT-PCR test in conjunction with a local hospital. Fully vaccinated Thai or foreign residents can't quarantine in their homes for the first night after they arrive in Thailand. They must stay in an approved SHA Plus hotel until they receive a negative test result. It's the same for everybody at this stage. If the result is positive, they'll be sent to a hospital or an AQ hotel at their expense, so check the fine print on your COVID insurance. Children under 12 years of age travelling with their parents aren't required to have a vaccine certificate. For children older than 12, a vaccine certificate and medical insurance is required. Only Thai nationals aren't required to have a medical insurance because any medical cost incurred by citizens will be covered under Thailand's universal healthcare system. Now, the same insurance exemption now applies to foreign residents who already have medical and health insurance in Thailand. You'll need to ensure that your insurance policy does not only specify COVID-19 health coverage, but other general illnesses and hospital expenses. Fully vaccinated travellers from the 63 listed countries and territories are required to have stayed at least 21 days in one or more of those countries before travelling to Thailand. But fully vaccinated local and foreign residents can travel to one of the 63 countries for a shorter period and then return. You're not required to stay a full 21 days in that country. But that exemption doesn't apply to local and foreign residents who visit countries that aren't on the list of 63 eligible countries or territories. For transit passengers passing through countries that aren't on the list of 63 approved countries or territories, they can continue their trip to Thailand if the transit period doesn't exceed 12 hours and they stay in the airport. Well, it's now time to go through the three main types of re-entry. Here we go. Now, you're exempted from quarantine after testing negative for COVID-19 after arrival in Thailand. You'll need to stay at your hotel until your negative test results come back. This one's important. You'll need to have travelled from a port in an eligible country or territory and have stayed in eligible countries or territories for at least 21 consecutive days. You'll need to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 no less than 14 days before travelling. You'll need to obtain a negative COVID-19 test result issued within 72 hours before travelling. Here's the documents you'll need to upload into the Thailand Pass website. Passport, your visa into Thailand, your certificate of vaccination, paid up AQ or SHA plus hotel reservation, confirmation for the duration of 1 day, including the PCR test. Insurance with minimum coverage of $50,000 US. Now for the Sandbox program. So the Sandbox program is still going and allows a lot more options, including that you can come from anywhere in the world, not just the approved low-risk countries. Travellers from any country or territory, you'll need to stay in the Sandbox area for 7 days and then will be able to travel anywhere in Thailand. The Sandbox areas now include Bangkok, Buriram, Chiang Mai, Chonburi, Krabi, Loei, Nong Khai, Phang Na, Phetchaburi, Phuket, Prachuap Khiri Khan, Ranong, Rayong, Samut Prakan, Suratani, Trat and Udon Thani. Sorry for some of the pronunciations. You'll need to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 no less than 14 days before travelling. You'll need to have a negative COVID-19 test result issued within 72 hours before travelling, and you'll need to upload these documents into the Thailand Pass website. Passport, your Thai visa, certificate of vaccination, paid SHA plus hotel reservation confirmation throughout the 7-day period. That includes the fees for RT-PCR tests and antigen test kit. Insurance with a minimum coverage of $50,000 US. Now for the final option, which is available for everyone else, including people who haven't been vaccinated against COVID-19. It's now simply called alternative quarantine. At one stage they did call it happy quarantine, but they've decided to get rid of the very silly name, just call it what it is. So this is for travellers from any country or territory. You need to stay in quarantine for 10 days and then will be able to travel everywhere in Thailand after your 10-day stay. Here are the documents you'll need to upload on the Thailand Pass website. A passport, Thai visa if required, paid AQ hotel reservation, fully paid, or a deposit of at least 15,000 Thai baht. This will include the fees for 2 PCR tests. Insurance with a minimum coverage of 50,000 USD. So that's all the main details. A copy of this script is under the description so you can go back through the details. Also, if you don't want to apply for a Thailand Pass at the moment and want to wait until there is less paperwork, there's no need to tell us in the comments section. We get it, we understand. Well, time now to look forward and welcome people back, whether for business or pleasure. Hopefully this video has given you a start to getting back into the kingdom, and we look forward to seeing you soon.